Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. If you're a focused learner trying to figure out exactly how high achievers actually build their lives, well, you're definitely in the right place. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating blueprint derived from the architecture of achievement. I want you to think of your life as a grand building project. You wouldn't just throw a bunch of bricks on the ground without a design, right? So let's take a look at the blueprint. Right out of the gate, we need to confront one of the biggest misconceptions in our fast-paced world. We see the finished skyscrapers, the polished, successful people, and we just kind of assume they popped up out of nowhere. But listen, success is not an overnight phenomenon. We absolutely have to dismantle this myth of the overnight success. Real achievement isn't a winning lottery ticket. It is a construction project. And just like any massive structure, it requires a incredibly deep, solid foundation. That foundation is made of very specific materials: hard work, immense patience, rigorous discipline, and a really deep-seated belief in yourself. Because without those materials, anything you build is eventually going to crumble. Okay, let's move into our first major structural phase. Section 1, the foundation. Dreaming versus doing. This right here brilliantly illustrates the core divide between those who just wish and those who actually build. It's a universal human trait. Everyone has dreams. We all want a better life and imagine incredible futures. But dreams alone, they're just air. The absolutely crucial point is taking action to build reality. Action is the concrete. It's the steel. Having the idea is necessary, for sure, but it is exclusively the physical act of taking action that transforms a whimsical thought into a tangible, touchable reality. Basically, you have to move away from the drafting table and actually step onto the construction site. But, as we know, no construction project goes perfectly according to plan. That brings us to Section 2, the stress test, redefining failure. Look, as you take action and begin building, you are guaranteed to hit bedrock, bad weather, and supply shortages. It's just going to happen. So we have to completely reframe how we look at setbacks. In the architecture of success, failure is not a stopping point. It's not a red light. It is a mandatory structural test. Just like engineers stress test steel beams to see how much weight they can hold, life stress tests your resolve. Failure is quite simply a lesson that helps you grow stronger. It reveals the weak points in your design so you can reinforce them. If you view failure as the end of the road, well, your building stops at the first floor. But if you view it as data, as a lesson, you're going to build higher and stronger than you ever could before. Which leads us to a really natural question, right? Are successful people just immune to failure? Do they possess some kind of magical quality that lets them bypass the stress test altogether? I mean, think about it. Even the Leaning Tower of Pisa was a massive engineering failure, yet it became world famous. Did the people you admire most just glide to the top without a single structural collapse along the way? No. It is that stark, that simple, and honestly, that powerful. No. Successful people aren't different because they never fail. They're different because they never stop trying. When their walls fall down, they don't just abandon the site. They look at the rubble, they learn from their mistakes, they improve their techniques, and they keep moving forward. They literally just keep laying bricks. That resilience to push through the failure, that is the actual secret. So, how do we actually do that day in and day out? Section 3, the daily build, pillars of focus. Think about these 4 daily requirements because they are entirely within your control. These are your building blocks. Step 1, focus on your goals. You need to know exactly what building you are trying to construct, so keep your eyes on the blueprint. Step 2, use your time wisely. Time is your single most valuable building material. You literally cannot afford to waste it on distractions. Step 3, surround yourself with positive people. This is your construction crew. You need people who uplift you, not people who tear down your scaffolding. And finally, step 4, keep learning new things every single day. The best builders are always studying new methods. These 4 pillars, if you build them daily, will support absolutely any weight you put on them. And just think about how those 4 pillars compound over time. The timeline doesn't start with some massive, impossible leap. Day 1 is simply start now. Just begin. By day 30, you've built a solid habit of consistent learning and focus. And by year 1, those small, seemingly insignificant daily steps have compounded to literally turn your dreams into reality. Small steps, taken consistently, create massive results. You aren't trying to build the whole skyscraper in a single afternoon. You're just focusing on laying today's brick as perfectly as you possibly can. All right, we've reached the final stage of our explainer today. Section 4, the handover. Start your story now. This is the moment the keys to the construction site are handed entirely over to you. The architects have given you the plans, but they can't build it for you. So remember these 3 directives. First, believe in your abilities. If the builder doesn't believe the building will stand, it won't. Period. Second, realize that your future depends entirely on the choices you make today, not tomorrow, today. Every single choice is a brick. And finally, and this is perhaps the most important rule in the whole architecture of achievement, do not wait for the perfect moment. The weather will never be perfect. The timing is never going to be perfect. You have to start right now, work hard, and basically force the life you dream of into existence through sheer will and daily effort. Let's be real. Building something magnificent is hard, but it is supposed to be hard. Because ultimately, success belongs to those who have the courage to continue, even when the journey gets terribly difficult. When the structural integrity of your resolve is tested by delays, by critics, by total exhaustion, that is precisely the moment when the highest achievers dig deep and find the courage to lay just one more brick. Courage is the ultimate separator here. I want to leave you with this really powerful thought, straight from the source material. Your success story starts with you, not with your circumstances, not with your boss, not with your bank account. With you. You are the architect, you are the engineer, and you are the builder. Stay focused, stay positive, and never, ever give up. The blueprint is literally in your hands right now. So the only question left to ask yourself is this: what are you going to build today?